One. Hello, team! I'm Anna Prosser Robinson. That's my co-host, Gillyweed, and this is Eye on the Storm. If you haven't watched Eye on the Storm before, we're glad that you're here for the first time with us, and we're sad that you've missed 58 episodes before? Something like that?
Closing in on a long 60? Time worth of episodes, yeah.
And we're thankful that you're joining us after quite a hiatus, because we were very, very busy. Both Gillyweed and I were involved in Heroes of the Dorm, which is where we also pulled in these two guys from. We'll introduce you to those two later. Gilly, what is our show about?
All right, well, Eye on the Storm is all about Blizzard's Heroes Brawler, Heroes of the Storm. We have community discussion and game discussion every week. We also sometimes have a play session. We're still kind of in the process of reworking that, and we'll talk about that later on today. And then we also have spotlights of really cool things that we found in the community. But most importantly, we bring on guests from the community, from the game, to talk to us about what's happening in the game or what's happening in the scene in general. And we are on the Misscliks channel. Misscliks is amazing. Anna, you want to talk about that?
I would love to, Gillyweed. Misscliks is a place where we provide support and exposure, especially for women role models in geek and gaming culture, and just an effort to make an uplifting, safe online space. And we're really grateful for the support that Misscliks has given us. And we hope that you will engage with them and check out the other shows that are listed below in the channel description as well. Today on our show, we have two fantastic guests, and you may recognize them already. This is MichaelUdall and Shot from Arizona State, who are the champions this year of Heroes of the Dorm. How's it going, guys?
It's good. Feels good to be here. Thank you for having us.
You are welcome.
Same.
Same.
Your hair's looking really nice, Mike. I know that you specifically wanted to make sure that was the case for our viewers, right?
I was wearing a hat all day. I was like, I should probably do it for the stream. I didn't want, people to get mad at me.
It's really funny as like a Heroes personality, because if you guys missed Heroes of the Dorm, Gillywood was there casting at the desk. I was there as the esports correspondent or host or interviewer or whatever you want to call it. And so, we try to talk about interesting things in the community and bring all the story and the narrative. And they were all about like, we want gravitas. You're a serious sports reporter. We want to show people to take this take this seriously. And then but everyone wanted to talk about MichaelUdall's hair. So that was one of the questions that we talked about multiple times.
It's not even the best hair on the team. Like, I gotta give a shout out.
Talking about fans?
Yeah, Fam's hair is
Fam
so
is legendary.
Yeah. You guys have really good hair for a team.
Vanity's was good too.
Vanity? Yeah.
How about your own, Sir Shot? I thought that yours also was great.
Yeah.
Not on stage. It was all over the place.
But see, you guys don't have to worry about those things, as long as you play well, who cares? I noticed actually that 3 or 4 of you were in your stocking feet during the award ceremony.
Oh, Akka was barefoot.
Akka was
Really?
For the awards ceremony?
Yeah.
Oh, he ran back and put his shoes on and stuff.
Aww.
They yelled at him. He was like, "Oh my gosh!" And he ran backstage or back behind the computers and grabbed his stuff.
So I was curious because I was telling people, I know that a lot of pro gamers don't wear shoes when they compete because they don't wear shoes when they practice and they want to just keep things consistent. Is that you guys?
It's not me, but I know Fam and Akka do it for sure. That's what they said. They're like, I never wear my shoes, so I refuse to wear shoes on stage. And Akka was like, I only wear basketball shorts when
Wait, he took off his pants because they had to wear long sweatpants.
Yeah.
And I just remember looking to my left and I just see Akka shimmying, take off his pants, happening up here. I was like, what are you doing?
That's amazing.
He took his pants off on stage?
Yeah,
and then he had basketball shorts.
Oh,
yeah, he
okay.
had basketball shorts underneath.
I was like, what the heck happened?
That is amazing. I love that.
He wakes me up in the morning and he goes, Shot. I'm like, what? What's up? He's like, do you have any extra sweatpants? I was just like, okay, I don't know. And he's like, you're bigger than me, so I need your sweatpants so I can put them over my basketball shorts. I was like, sure, take my sweatpants, go for it.
Knock yourself out. That's great. Well, I want to talk about things kind of in order chronologically here because we have so much we want to ask you about. Being the champions of Heroes of the Dorm obviously felt amazing. We want to hear about that part, but we kind of want to rewind, roll back, and talk about all of Heroes of the Dorm because we haven't even gotten to do a show really talking much about this whole process. So I wanted to start out, for people who might not know you or may have seen you for the first time on the Heroes of the Dorm stage, could you tell me first just a little bit about your background and even outside of gaming? Where are you from? What do you do now? You're in school. What are you studying? Those kinds of things.
Mike, you got it. You go first.
I'm gonna start. So my name's Michael. I'm from Mesa, Arizona, born and raised. I'm going to ASU, which is about like 20 minutes east from my home. So I got, really far away from my parents. They're crazy. I was so scared. Currently, my major's kind of undecided. I'm kind of leaning towards like marketing or like telecommunications. So how I got involved in the whole esports scene is I actually played on the ASU Heroes of the Dorm team in 2015. And I was like never really like an avid gamer before that. Like I always kind of played just because like they were really fun, but like I got like super dedicated for that because I really wanted to win college tuition, and we made it to the finals and lost. And then after that, that kind of like catapulted my professional career. So then I was like playing the pro scene for like 8 months, and then we kind of did like full circle. And then I took like 2 or 3 months off the professional scene to focus on Heroes of the Dorm, and we won. And yeah,
And here you are.
and here I am. And I play in the kitchen, so there's that.
What about you, Shot?
I'm from Mission Viejo, California. I go to ASU online. I can't like be there. Maybe next semester I can be there hanging out with my buddies. But I mean, I was always just competitive as a child. Like I was in soccer and stuff, and I just wanted to win all the time. And I remember like my first game was Super Smash Bros. On the 64. And I just remember wanting to beat my brother so badly. He was 5 years older than me, so he was like way better than me because he could just understand what was going on. But I mean, I was always into competitive gaming and competitive everything. Like soccer was competitive. I got super into like Halo when I was younger and like just winning in general. Then I went to League of Legends and I was like Diamond 1 Challenger. And I tried to go professional in that, and I was in the challenger scene for some time. And I mean, then I kind of came to Heroes of the Storm in Technical Alpha when a new Barak was released. And I was just like, I just fell out of love with League of Legends, and I fell in love with Heroes of the Storm because I'm a huge lore nerd and I love all the characters. And I was just like, oh my god, these guys are so awesome. I love all these characters. And I could play MOBAs, which I'm extremely good at, and I could play as the characters that I know and love. So I just fell in love with them, and I played on a couple of professional teams like Cognitive Gaming and stuff. And then I was bouncing back and forth. I made a team like Resurgence Gaming, or whatever we called ourselves, Resurgence. I think it was just Resurgence. And then Mike and Aka just asked me to take a break from competitive. It's like, hey, could you please like not join any of the teams? 'Cause I don't well, he was like, I don't want to conflict your practice schedule, or like you like spend half your time playing with us and half your time with a professional team or something. And I was like, yeah, I want to win too. So, I mean,
How important do you guys think it was that you took that break from the professional scene? Because we have some other people who played in professionally, but not a lot of people none that I can think of who, maybe Raffle, I guess, took like a break and was only playing in dorm at the time.
I mean, I think it was huge. I think it's like a big factor to why we won. Because I mean, in 2015, our talent, like compared to the scene at that time, was probably like pretty similar, if that makes sense. But I feel like we just didn't have the work, and I think that was the biggest like reason why we won this year. Is like we were putting in more hours than anyone, and like we were very, very prepared, and like we improved a lot as a team, like through the course of 2 months where we played together. So I mean, I think it was the biggest contributing factor, the amount of time that the whole team put in.
I wanted to ask. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I agree. Like, we were able to put in so much work and effort and come up with strategies to help with our team, and like taking a break from professional play really like helped us put our minds to winning Heroes of the Dorm, and like we were able to research other teams instead of researching like professional teams. Yeah, we researched professional teams, like find out good strategies and how to play the game correctly, and as you do just to learn and be better. But like we were able to study our opponents more than having to worry about, oh, we're facing Cloud9 this weekend in so-and-so tournament, like I gotta go study up for them. Like I was able to just like study on like East Carolina instead. So I think it was huge for us to just focus on dorms and come back into the professional scene afterwards.
I actually had planned to ask this question later on as we kind of talk about the future of Heroes of the Storm, but since we're on the subject, I know that there's been a lot of talk about as collegiate esports grows and as the pro scene in esports is way different than the pro scene in professional sports, how does a collegiate and pro player divide their time? Should a pro player be allowed to be a collegiate player and vice versa? That kind of debate. I know Gilly and I have talked a lot about our views on the subject, but I'm curious what you guys think about that debate that's going on, and being two players that have been in the pro scene and decided to jump out of the pro scene for this and plan to go back into the pro scene. What do you guys think?
All right, I guess I'll start. I mean, I don't think it should be separate. I don't think you should be punished as a professional video gamer if you're trying to play school, or like you're trying to do school also. Like I think you should be able to compete in collegiate tournaments. Like for me, like I understand why there's like collegiate and professional, like a big difference in like traditional like physical sports. And it's kind of the concept that like your body hasn't developed yet, and like they are very physical. But like with video games, you don't really have that need. Like a 16-year-old can be better than a 20-year-old. I mean, it's just based on like maturity and like mechanical skill, like things like that. So I mean, I hope it never gets to the point where it's divided. I think it will get to the point where it's like they're both so competitive in their like professional will be so competitive and college will be so competitive that you can't have the time to do both. But I don't think there should be someone like the NCAA or something coming in and saying, no, you're a professional, you can't play, or like, no, you're a collegiate, you can't play. Like that being said, I don't ever think a professional team should be able to sign up. So like I really like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think like a professional team should be able to sign up for college only tournaments. Like, but you can have pro players on collegiate teams.
So you think that as long as not all of the players are pro, they should be allowed to play in collegiate?
Well, no, it'd be more of like, okay, so say we're Team Cloud9, right? And they all just sign up for a collegiate tournament and take like one class online. Like I think that defeats the purpose. And yeah.
So there needs to be some sort of like requirements based on like how many hours you take or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like which you have to like have gone to the school like this semester before or something. Or
Yeah.
Gone to school.
Residency.
Exactly. It's that kind of concept.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Shot?
I mean, I'm gonna get a little controversial, so
Let's break it down.
a lot of people are kind of mad at us for what Michael just said. A lot of people just like kind of assume that I signed up for this tournament and only took like one online course. I'm taking full-time classes at ASU, but like I agree, like the situation how it was, like I feel like in future Heroes of the Dorm tournaments, they should make it so you have to at least have a certain amount of credits going into the tournament, at least in progress or something like that. Because you could see like professional teams all just signing up for one class online. They're like, okay, we're 5-man professional squad. We're just gonna destroy all the college teams. But I mean,
Yeah.
People are mad at us because we kind of did that with me, because like I signed up for classes to participate for ASU, but it's not like I'm not going to stay at ASU, and it's not like I wasn't only taking one course. Like I was taking a full load of courses. People say like, yeah, I also go to another college. I'm finishing up my last semester at Cal State Fullerton as well, but I go full time there and full time at ASU. So it's not like I'm just like freeloading my way into ASU. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting because, I mean, it's not at all unheard of for people to transfer schools for sports at all. Yeah. You know, like if I play for Oregon and I get recruited to play for whatever other state, you know, it's not unheard of for me to go play for another school. That said, also, I don't think it's fair necessarily to compare esports to competitive physical sports. Because like Mike said, a lot of the reasons that you physically maybe shouldn't compete with pros and collegiate people is different. Also, the infrastructure around traditional sports is so different than it is around esports. To be a professional football player, you know, you need to get scouted or drafted, and you've got to have agents and this and that. Whereas in esports, and especially in Heroes of the Storm, it's like if you're really good, no matter what your age, and you're at the top of the game, then you get recruited and you play professionally. So any college team could also be a professional team if they're good enough. So I feel like the lines are so blurred in esports that it's weird to try to like really stringently separate them out, except for the residency thing. I think, like you said, establishing kind of a residency at a school, that makes sense. What do you think, Gilly?
I think that because also like there have been a lot of studies that have shown that like reflex speed and stuff goes down later in your 20s, and esports is just not established enough that you can get like, especially an earlier esport like this, it's just not established enough yet where you can like do it as your job professionally like very easily. You really have to kind of build up into it. And so college and high school, even if you are like at that point, is kind of the time to start getting into like the pro scene anyway, like seeing if you can like make it and take that time. I think it gets a lot harder when you're out of college and also trying to do a job or something like that, or like trying to figure out if you can like pay for your like housing off of earnings, like tournament winnings. So I mean, it's just like you said, it's a whole different bear than physical sports, and it just doesn't make sense to try to constrain it to sports just because that's what's done for something else.
Yeah, and along those same lines, going to school, if you're a football player on a full ride or something, the reason that you're there with that scholarship and playing that sport is because they're going to help you get through college. Whereas being a collegiate player in Heroes of the Storm, unless you win Heroes of the Dorm, is not going to pay your bills. You know, even being a pro player, right? Yet that's what's important. Even being a pro player right now is kind of like, depending on which team you're signed with and how good their infrastructure is, maybe that's not even going to pay your bills. So
I was gonna like talk about that. Like, you have to put into account like finances, like professional football and like NCAA football. Like, it doesn't matter what team you are on for NCAA football. A lot of them just give you full rides if you're good enough. Like if say Tennessee, like they're not getting their tuition paid for, so it's really hard to compare the two. And for professional, like you go from NCAA football into the pro league, like you're getting paid so much money to do that. Whereas, like you said, some pro teams like are not getting paid that much because of performance, or just because of the organization's amount of money that they have, or the fact that they don't win the tournament prize money as much. So, I mean, it's really hard to differentiate where to draw the line between collegiate and professional in esports, just because there's such a massive difference.
Totally agreed. I'm glad we talked about that, because I think it's a really interesting issue and it's important. And I know that especially as a team, like that's been where some people have been kind of trying to steal your thunder. So I think that I'm glad that you are not letting them. But let's get back on kind of the trail of how you ended up being the champions of Heroes of the Dorm. And you mentioned that last year Arizona State did win second place. Take us from that moment last year to this year. And I think I'm understanding you said that your team started preparing right after that tournament last time. How did you go about that?
Well, I wasn't a part of that, so Michael's got it.
I mean, wait, who said that?
You did. You told me you've been preparing all year.
Oh, I mean, I've been preparing all year. I don't like
Yeah.
the team hasn't been. Okay, I mean, I've been preparing all year. I mean, me playing in the pro scene really like helped me grow as a player. And I kind of had a mindset of like this year I want to like practice drafting and shot calling. So that's something like I learned in the professional scene and definitely helped with our team. Like shot helped me dual shot call, and that was like a big help. And draft, he also helped a lot in draft. But I mean, another like we really started like our training like right after regionals for the NA regionals, which is probably like 2.5 like 3 months ago. That's when the team really got together. I mean, I know Snickers, actually the whole reason he started playing Heroes of the Storm is because he was roommates with Fam when they played in Heroes of the Dorm. So that's actually how he got it. So I mean, he's been training like all year to kind of get into like to get his level to the point where he could play on our team. So I mean, I guess that's where the training came in, is like me developing myself as a player with like Heroes of the Dorm in thought, like in mind. Does that make sense? Like the reason I was playing pro, like a big part of it was so that I could be really good for dorms.
I think that's really cool to hear.
Snickers was so awesome. Like in Hero League before we started our tryouts, Mike, he was always like, whenever he was on my team, he was like, "Shot, I want you to pay attention to me. I'm just going to show you that I'm good enough to be on your team." And I was like, "All right, man, I'll watch." And then like I just completely wouldn't watch because I was too focused on winning for myself.
Shot senpai, notice me.
So I'd go and watch the replay and stuff, but I love Snickers. He's awesome.
I was really impressed by his improvement throughout Dorm.
He
I
got
thought he was
so
one of the most
much better.
improved players of
Yeah.
all of Dorm. It was like him, Gutslaw got a lot better. Yeah, I was very impressed by Snickers by the end.
Which areas do you think he improved in the most, Gilly?
I would say confidence in himself and his play. When you're playing the warrior, that can be very tough as to know like when to go in, and I feel like sometimes it was not. That also could have been something with you guys in communication though. Like that's tough for like me to be able to tell, but
I think it was him.
like it was a lot more confident toward the end.
When it started, he honestly was just like would just listen to us call, and whenever we say throw a stun, he would throw a stun. But like when like the first time he did just a slide when he was on ETC, the first time he did a slide mosh pit on his own, we were just like, just do that, just rip it, you're awesome. You know when you can hit these stuns, like you don't need our permission. And so like he slowly over the tournament, as like we kept progressing and getting better and played better teams and lost to better teams, like he started to get the groove for it and understood what his role was and where he should be. I think the where he improved the most was actually like positioning, not like in a team fight, but just like when we're rotating and stuff. Like he knows when he needs to anchor in a bush so we don't get ganked, and he knows how to body block an opposing team to stop them from getting to his carries. And I mean, he just improved so much as a player, and I was really impressed with him.
We're looking now at a picture of your whole team, including Vanity. So you mentioned you held tryouts, and you mentioned, did you say Snickers didn't even play Heroes before being introduced to it by Fam?
Yeah, that was my understanding.
He played it a little bit the first year on 2015 Here's the Dorm. Afterwards, he played a little bit, and then he stopped playing, and then he picked it back up again for 2016 Here's the Dorm.
Cool. So tell us about that tryout process and how each person came to be, including yourself, Shot, because you were actually at Heroes of the Dorm last year, but with a different team.
I competed in Heroes of the Dorm last year for Cal State Fullerton. We didn't even get to the round of 64. It had like my sister and my best friend on the team.
Oh, cool.
Like I tried to get a team together, but there wasn't like many people that knew about it at my school. So I was like, oh, I'll just kind of get my sister and my best friend and a couple guys, and I'll try to coach them really, really hard. And we did not get far. It was kind of embarrassing. But I mean, what was the other part of the question? I'm sorry.
Just how
about the tryout.
Yeah, try it out for the team.
I mean, we only had like 3 people try out, right, Mike?
Nah, dude, we had a lot. I only like. Okay, so
did you only accept 3? Oh, so cold.
you have to like weed them out. So I did like a lot of like posts on social media. What? Come on, that's how you get down to 2 players. Gilly, don't laugh at me. No,
it's only because the way you say things is so like good-hearted, but the words are so cold. Like you're like, yeah, you got to weed them out.
Yeah,
like
you just gotta weed them out.
but you say like I know from you, it's
gotta
it's
weed them
coming.
out. Like you just gotta narrow it down, you know.
It's
But,
coming with such warmth from you, but it sounds so cold. I totally get it.
Let's be cold, guys. It's cool. All right, so Akaface is actually the one that told me about Shot, and I mean I played against him in the competitive scene, so we didn't even give him a tryout. He just instantly was on the team. And then same thing with Aka, myself, and then Param, just because Param is like a super solid player, and we knew him from last year. So we had 2 spots. We had like the sub and the tank role. So I like tweeted out a lot, and I got like 30 or 40 applications. I just sent it to my email. And then we narrowed it down to 3. We weeded them out, guys. And then we just played with all 3 of them, and Snickers and Vanity were the best. And then, I don't know, Snickers just won out. I don't know, Snickers wanted it more. Like, I love Van to death, but we'd like scrim, and I'd have like both of them, and then I'd be like, who wants to play? And Snickers every single time would be like, I want it. He'd be like, choose me, like, I want to play. And then Van like wouldn't step up. So that's really why there wasn't like a point where I was like, all right, we chose Snickers over you, Van. Like, thank you. It was more of just like Snickers like took. Does that make sense? He just like took it and then like
took the initiative more.
Exactly, he took the initiative, and I wasn't gonna like And Van doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play. Van was great though. He was such an amazing sub.
Van was amazing. He talked to me about his sub position and talked about how he spent like nights just like watching replays, and he like would ask me questions about my play, and he tried to study every single one of our play styles. So if one of us had to sub out, he could play like us.
Cool.
Oh man, that's really cool.
That
So,
kind of
like,
gives me
It was
chills.
awesome.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
super
so
good.
like it wouldn't be like him like just being a substitute. Is him trying to fill the void as much as possible. And I was like, wow, that is awesome. We have the best substitute NA.
All right, guys. I gotta let you guys know something.
Okay.
So we were looking for a sub. We had to team vote because Akaface wanted
Oh my
Hot
God.
Grill as our sub, and I had to fight for Vanity's spot. No, I actually was so mad about it. That's it. That's the story.
You just outed Akaface.
Aka definitely wanted a hot
Aka
girl.
definitely wanted a hot grill.
He
and
like
I
he
had to
pulled up
fight
all
him.
these Instagrams. He's like, look at this
Oh,
girl. We
man.
could get this her. What?
Did any girls try out?
No.
I was so sad. I was hoping there'd be some.
He was like, I'll just ask them and they'll join, I'm sure. I was like,
Oh,
Aka, please.
Aka. I was curious about that sub spot because as I was looking at Vanity being, you know, in all these pictures with you and being on stage with you and stuff, I was thinking it must take kind of intense humility to be the sub on one of these teams because you're
Oh, yeah.
you're there the whole time, but yet you don't get to play, and the team wins, but you didn't really get to be a part of it, and then you do win a scholarship, but it's not
Yeah.
as much. So like it really, I feel like that must take some strength and some real like self-awareness and confidence. Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, I know he always felt uncomfortable. But,
Really?
Like, oh, I feel like, yeah, I kind of like, especially when we were in Seattle, he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, we'd like go to media, and he'd be like, I don't know if I should talk, and I'm like, dude, you're a part of the team because like he did help out so much.
Yeah.
You know?
It sounds like it because if he knows that much about your replays, it sounds like he's a good resource. And I know other subs were like that too, where they were kind of acting as like a coach.
Coaching
Scrim,
role, like that's how
yeah.
Merton was. Yeah.
Yeah, Van would send me info on all the players.
That's cool.
Scott doesn't know that. I asked Van to send me info on all the players, and just like little things like he'd like kind of timestamp some replays for me, and it'd make my job easier. Where like I'd go to that and be like, okay, this is what they should have done, and I'd send it. Especially like Snickers and like Fam, just because he had been out of the pro scene, and I think that's a big thing that helped us get better.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, after you had the team all put together, what was your practice schedule like? Because you have school, and then you've got to practice enough to be doing Heroes of the Dorm. And I heard you throw around like 6 to 8 hours a day. Is that what you all were doing?
That's for me and Aka. Aka and I did, well, okay, so our usual practice schedule was like 4-hour practice, which is 2 2-hour blocks with teams that we were hoping were as good as us or better than us. We played oftentimes against professional teams and would just get stomped, but we would like right after we get something we're like, can we play against you guys again like next week or something?
Yeah.
We got rejected a few times. Like, no, you suck. Cool.
Oh.
But
Rejection only makes you stronger,
but
or something.
I know.
I don't know.
I know for me and Aka, we would always yell at our teammates to play Hero League and stuff for your own individual improvement, just to like focus on individual mechanics and just make sure you're up to date with the game, especially with like a new patch coming out. Like when there was a patch coming out in Heroes of the Dorm, like we played on PTR a lot, and like Aka and I would put in like 6 hours of Hero League duo queue a day usually. So I mean that's was us.
The
too.
rest of us didn't Hero League as much, but we also did Hero League. That's where like the 6 hours come from. Is like
Yeah.
when like you kind of like binge, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you, like for me, like when I'm streaming, like I'll stream for like 4 to like 6 hours, and like I'll do that like twice a week. So it's like that kind of like counts for like the 6 hours a day. And for me, I put a lot more of like cognitive time, if that makes sense. Like a lot of time in the draft and like watching other regions play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, like the 6 to 8 hours comes from me.
Michael, did you shot call when you played for Panda Global?
I wish. No, I didn't.
Okay, so was that also something that you guys, obviously you had to learn to shot call together as a team, you two having not played on a team together, but like, was that also something that you kind of had to go through a learning process for?
I mean, I don't know, Shad, did I get better by the end?
But actually, if I don't know if you remember, but like in the beginning, you were like, you're like, if I make a bad call and like it's a really bad call, just like this is like right at the beginning, like if I make a bad call and it's like a game-ending call, just let me do it and let it fail so I can learn. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, so he like call like bosses sometimes, and we would just get wiped. And I was like, I knew that was gonna happen.
You have to test those limits.
But like at first, like I just let him do it. But like once it kind of got more serious and like into the tournament, yeah, like we started dual shot calling more.
How did that work? What was that process? Did one of you have like
I think it worked
power?
fantastically.
Right, but like actually who did what? Like veto, did someone have veto power? What was it?
I mean, I think I had veto power, right? Like, okay, so here's how it normally is. Whoever was in the 4-man was shot callers. Like near
Okay.
I, who was always like solo laning pretty much like every single time. So whoever was in the 4-man would shot call. And the reason I said I had veto power is late game I'd normally take over. Is that
Okay.
Michael would usually make the general calls for late game, and mostly like if like while he was shot calling late game, if I see an opportunity for something like take top keep or something, like he's just like, all right, everyone just back up, go get giants, go get knights. And I was just like, no, we go take top keep. And he's like, he'll think about it for like he'll think about it first. He goes, that's a good idea, we go take top keep.
Yeah, like, that's a good idea. Or you know, like Infernal Shrines, like go for the core. I was like,
Yeah,
we can't end, but okay. Like
I wanted to know about that.
that was
Like,
shot. That was a good call.
so okay, which core call was shots? Was it the first one where you like brought it down to
First
24?
one.
But you like you knew they were gonna rest. You would have it.
So the first core call, we got it down to 24%. I thought we could end, honestly. Like I knew it was gonna be super, super close, but I thought we could end. But when I saw that we were gonna get wiped, and it was down to 24%, I still like.
I think it was a good call.
We all died except for Fam because he died earlier, but like right after we all died, like nobody was quiet or anything. Like me and Michael were like, that was worth 100% worth. They can't end the game right now. Like we had most of our forts up. I think we were missing one fort. There was no way they were going to end the game off of our death timers. So at that point we're just like, we can backdoor at any time. We can threaten a backdoor. If we even kill one person that's significant or two people, we could just go end the game. Like we have all the power in this game, and they're on the back foot. They have to make something happen, otherwise they will win. They will lose the game.
And I know, sorry, I'm jumping ahead, Anna. Just
That's
one more
fine.
question about the shot calling. But you guys had to make 2 core calls. One was on Black Hearts, and then I guess 3 if you count the one where you wiped, but you took it down to 24%. How did it feel knowing like, I know that we can do this? I knew that you knew that on Black Hearts, and you were right. And then also like being able to do it, like especially having not shot called for like your last team, Michael, or shot. I don't know who actually made those. I thought it was Michael.
I made the Black Hearts one, and
Okay.
so I'll just say the Black Hearts one first, and I'll tell you about the Infernal one. The Infernal one was pretty funny, but the Black Hearts one felt really good. I remember that. Like, I don't know if you guys like watched in game. I was like, kill Sylve and then run to the core, and like you see me mount up in the bush and just book it. Like on the mini map, like I kill the keep and then I'm on the core by the time my team like gets to where the keep was dead. I'm like, we can't.
I was right behind you.
Right. So I was right behind. I remember Stickers was like in La La
Oh
Land.
no! Okay, I was yelling at Stickers because Stickers was like chasing Johanna. He's like, "Are you sure we can kill him?" I was like,
Yeah, we saw that.
Johanna, don't kill Johanna. And he's like, okay, I'm coming. I was like, you leave her right now.
I said, yeah, that one, the Black Hearts Bay one felt really good. I don't know, like for me, like it felt really good. That's where I said, you know, the famous line, like, good game, boys.
That was such an embarrassing thing right there. You're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was at the desk and I was like, did that? Yeah, it did. Okay.
But the Infernal Shrines one was pretty funny because like we got the Illidan kill, right? And then we're running, and I'm like, guys, go to the shrine. Like, we'll just get the DK, we'll get the immortal and then pressure core. And then like as I'm running, like 2 seconds later, I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, can we core? And then no one says anything. I'm like, we can core. I was like, everyone on top. No one wanted to say, yeah, we can core, and then we not core.
I was just like,
It was silent. I was like, come on, guys.
well, okay, so it was after my first core call, I was scared, okay? I was like, because that one, if we failed that core call,
Yeah.
it's over. There's 4 people up. Our mid keeps down. I was like, if I miss this core call up, like, it's over. I mean, yeah, we had two more possible games afterwards, but I wanted the undefeated streak. So
That's something that we in dorm, as we had been casting it for like since the round of 64, talked about for teams, was the mark of like a team that had confidence, and like the pro mentality was when you knew that you could make the core calls. And that just takes like you said, it just takes a lot of like experimenting where you throw and then you're like, okay, well, that didn't work. Next time I know that like at this level with this much up, like it can't do it. It's a lot of learning from it by failing. So I thought that those were really cool. From my perspective, knowing you guys, getting to cast you guys for a long time, I was really proud to see you guys make those calls.
The Blackhearts one play feels so good. 12 minutes, guys. We beat our average game time, by 2 minutes.
I called that out after game. I was like, it's our average game time.
So I'm glad that was so important.
It felt so good. Ooh.
All right, Anna, I'll let you get us back on track. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. It's fine. This is what the show's about, is just chatting. And we're actually kind of getting to the point where we were talking about putting the team together in preparation. Now we're talking about in-game and strategy. So I want to hear a little bit about the transition from the qualifiers, where you were playing from school and your own PCs, to the LAN event, as we would call it, or the live stage event. So tell me about what it was like to play in the qualifiers. I saw you guys do an interview. I think it was one of my favorite interviews during the qualifiers, where you were all sitting there in the camera and screaming and blah, blah, blah. So if I'm not mistaken, you guys actually had a player area that you were all playing in together, right?
That was just round of 8 versus East Carolina.
Okay.
We were like, our parents wanted to take pictures of us and stuff, like playing together at a place.
That is so cute.
So,
That's
we all went to our LAN
adorable.
center and we just played together because they wanted us all together like for the finals. That's why we were there.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you played separately, like at your own PCs for the rest of the time.
Yeah, so just against East Carolina is when we played together.
Oh, okay.
And then we also had a LAN, in California the week before Heroes of the Dorm at Collegiate Coliseum that we played in. So we had LAN experience.
Oh, cool.
I live in Southern California, so I flew out for the East Carolina game.
Cool. How did that feel?
I mean, it was cool. I hopped on a plane. It was just an hour, and then I got there, and Michael's mom picked me up at the airport. It was super awkward because we never seen each other. She's like, she got my name wrong. She's like, Justin? Is that you?
Yeah.
I was like, my name's Shot. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's it. But, I mean, it was a super fun experience just to be there for a couple of days with the guys. Like, I loved hanging out with everybody. And then Michael got towed. That was cool.
How'd you get towed?
Literally Saturday night, I got towed before our big match Sunday. We were out till like 4:30. I went to hang out with fam and them, and everyone in Tempe, you get towed, and I just I just had faith, and it was
And we went back to Michael's house, and we both looked at each other like, we'll do draft in the morning. We're just gonna not do
and
it.
then we slept in.
Well, now I've gotten sidetracked what we were talking about.
How like the qualifiers went versus the Heroic Four.
I know,
What do you
but
guys
I
think
have
of
a
East
question.
Carolina?
I mean, they were all right.
No,
Okay, next question.
I do remember what I was gonna ask.
Stitches, but we banned it. She's a small champion pool. Her Stitches and Toronto are pretty good, but we banned away both of those, and they have Leap Sonya, so it's
Yeah.
Speaking of Leap Sonya, why couldn't we get a leap out of you, Michael, in the finals?
Leap Sonya's bad.
Leap Sonya.
bad.
China plays Leap Sonya.
Not bad.
We're not China.
With a solo heal priming is not very good. And you know that young Akka face.
Oh, so it's Aka face.
Yeah. You need to take it up with Akka face. I have no control. He's
Michael
our
will do
MVP.
anything to put the blame off of him.
It's Akka face.
That's it's such a tough choice for me. Do I want the Brightwing or do I want Leap Sonya so I can keep Sonya yelling? I mean, I know what chat would like.
Okay.
So-
I mean, Sonya's good, but we didn't need on those maps. It just wasn't good. Inferno, Wrath is so strong.
Yeah.
On Inferno and Towers of Doom, there's a lot of team fight going on. And Leap is mostly catch people out or get on their back line. And we honestly needed more damage in a lot of certain situations. And also Sonya taking Wrath just makes her so much tankier. Not in stats wise, but she gets CC reduction, so
Right, yeah.
able to take more punishment.
I mean, I know why people like Wrath more. It's just,
Yeah.
but there's Leap. It sounds so much cooler.
I mean, we weren't about to throw it at the finals. So
I suppose. That
we
makes
didn't. We also didn't practice it, so that's the reason.
I understand. I see.
I was actually going to ask, you said about many teams, you were like, they're okay, they're pretty good. And we asked you when you were there at the Heroic Four, what's your confidence level and why are the other teams mentioning that they feel uncomfortable around you? And, what does this mean? And you guys were saying that, you, A, feel 100% confident that the only thing that can prevent you from winning is you, and B, that it's kind of mental warfare and you need to make sure that the other teams are kept off balance. So tell us a little bit about why you were so confident.
I mean,
we won undefeated.
Okay, well, she means when we got there, Mike.
Oh, my bad. How easy.
So we got there, and we were confident throughout the entire tournament, but a lot of teams had their eyes on us from the very start of the tournament. Like, they all were expecting us to be the team to beat, and so we kind of took that fear from the team. We're like, from all the other teams, we turned it on them. We're like, all right, you're afraid of us, or like you want to prepare for us. We're gonna get in your head and make you so scared that you have to ban certain things that we want you to ban, and we'll just play something else. Since we had a really large hero pool, which I was super happy about, but like at Collegiate Coliseum, we played first pick Illidan 2 out of the 3 final games, because we wanted teams from Heroes of the Dorm semifinals and finals to ban Illidan against us. That we wanted them to think that we prioritized Illidan so highly that we will pick it on any map first pick.
Exactly. You have to first rotation ban it if you want us to not play it.
Yeah, and it worked against UConn. They banned Illidan against us both games.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it influenced the finals too.
Yeah, I mean, Illidan was kind of highly contested in the finals, but even like just our personality at Heroes of the Dorm, just the LAN, like we're all kind of like goofy guys, so just our ability to like walk up to people and just like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, not really care that all this stress is going on. It throws people off. Like, why aren't they just sitting at their computers practicing? Why are they coming up and just talking to us about the game? Like, why are they giving us, like, talking about strategies? Are these strategies that they're going to pull on us? Hello?
Or like mind games.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like the biggest thing is like the game doesn't start. I love this line so much. I love this line. I've been using it so
Why I
much.
didn't say it.
Thank you. Alright, so like the game, like people have this like conception, right? Like the game starts, right? Like Saturday when like you go into draft, right? Like that's when the game starts. But like the game doesn't start that. The game starts Thursday when you show up and you meet the other players. Like Heroes of the Storm is such like a mental, like emotional roller coaster. Like if you can get people on tilt or like off their game or like psych them out, like it's such a game like based on drafts. Like if you can psych them out with like anything, like that's like a big part of the game. So I mean, I kind of like our whole team went into the mindset of like we're gonna be super cocky and like arrogant and like confident and like we're gonna get people to play scared, and it worked. So
Does that worry you that you will burn bridges for later tournaments, later scrims, even like getting scrim partners?
I mean, I don't think we burned bridges. Like I'm still really good friends with all the UTA people, like in UConn and Dan Lee. Like we talked with them all after the tournament, and like they understand that it's just like a strategy to win. Like the best. Okay, this is a basketball quote. It's like Michael Jordan. I remember he did an interview. This is where I kind of got the whole like idea and like mindset, and he talked about how you really respect a player when you can like fight and like cuss at each other and like go hard like on a game and then walk off and you guys become friends. And say, but like the next day you guys walk back and you're playing each other and it's the same exact thing. It's like your top competitors. And I think like video games should be similar. I mean, I don't know if it always is, but I mean, I'm still really good friends with like all of UTA and you.
There was never a point where we were singling anybody out or like being purposefully mean to them.
Okay.
It was more just like playful banter, like, oh, we're gonna dumpster you. It's like
That was very serious.
that's okay. Well, it's just like just trying to get in their heads, like, oh, you guys have strategies. Psh, you're so predictable. We know all your strategies. It's not like we were straight up going up to them and being like, you're an awful person. You suck at this game.
Yeah.
There was none of that. So I mean, a lot of people understood that it was just us trying to be confident in ourselves as opposed to being mean individuals.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting, actually. I had a family member who was watching, who is a sports fan, but had never watched an esports tournament, and saw the, the trash talk between you and UT Arlington. And he texted me and he was like, way to handle a really hard situation on stage.
What, the trash talk?
Yeah, those teams really seem to hate each other. And I was like, because in my mind, I know how you guys are, and immediately after the cameras go off, everyone's shaking hands and hugging and laughing and high-fiving. And so I wonder, I don't know, if people didn't see that, if they think that is extends into real life, but that's really, it's A, because like you said, you're trying to show confidence for each other, and B, it's for the show. People want to see that kind of combat happening.
They do.
And
for the crowd.
Yeah, and it's part of my job to bring that out. That's the host's dream, is to get the teams to kind of give a little trash talk to each other.
One sec, my dog is crying.
Oh,
I was gonna say, UTA and us actually. So D-Noob, who's huge. I call him D-Noob. That's his old name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Ugers, we like 2 months ago when Heroes of the Dorm was announced. Like, you can check. Like, we've been like tweeting at each other and like talking crap like since that day. And like he DM'd me on Twitter. He's like, let's kind of build a rivalry. And I was like, all right. So I mean, we've been doing that like ever since. I mean, and like in the finals, like it got real. Like, it was really like a rivalry, and that's just because like everyone's tense and like anxious for the finals. I mean, it's something that like we've wanted to build up because like it's good for esports and it's better. Like, it makes it more fun to watch.
Yuge is like so funny. His trash talking. I was just like, Yuge.
His trash talk.
Teamwork.
We got better
It's like, you're too nice. You
like-
do this. Like,
Trash talk does not equate to use.
That's why it was so funny that my
So
stepdad's
nice.
like, oh,
I
mean
know.
trash talk. I'm
Like-
like, he said teamwork? Like,
we have
got
better
'em.
teamwork. I was like, Yuge, you're too nice to do that. Like, we can't believe you.
I thought it was
But I was
great.
happy. I knew that you guys had like kind of set up to do that, and it was really good for the crowd, and it was a good setup for you too, Michael, to be able to do that. And there was, there was a little bit of a rivalry. The fact that you guys met in the round of 16 last year and developed friendships based off of that. It was really cool to see that. Like, we set up that story back at the bracket reveal in hopes, like, that was like, this is the main story I'm going to run with, guys, just in case they run into each other again. And that is exactly where it went. And I was like really happy with that was something that we could kind of go through and keep that going and keep reminding people about all the way through the tournament.
Yeah, entertainment value is really important to these tournaments, to the success of esports in general. I mean, coming out of StarCraft, a lot of us are like, oh, let me don my top hat and put on my monocle and say good game, sir, and all that, like
It is.
and there's this expectation that we all need to like always only be polite, but then the stars of StarCraft are the ones who gave us a little bit of color,
MC.
Yeah. Idra.
Destiny.
But anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit more about like the tournament and games and any points that you guys thought were really interesting, and we're almost kind of running out of time, so let's just ask you guys. I'm looking at the brackets now, the round of 64 all the way down to the Heroic 4. What are some highlight moments that if people didn't watch Heroes of the Dorm, they could go back and see, kind of like either the moments where you felt like, oh no, this was the most challenging moment in our games, or the moments where you're like, oh, we killed that was amazing. What were some of the good games?
Shot, you go first.
Okay. You just gotta think. That's why. For me, probably my favorite moment of the tournament is where during the East Carolina set, where Snickers and I dual-handedly carried the team. The second game, it like, yeah, there was like a bunch of lag, and like you could say it's an excuse and stuff, but like we were frame dropping whenever like I threw a maw, and like they were just like still maw, and I was like, okay, I just won't. But we lost a team fight really significantly because ultimates were used on either side of the team, and like we just couldn't see what was going on, and our team like completely wiped except for me and Snickers. And Michael's like, just hold on, just try to stall them. And we're just like running between the immortals, running into our immortal, and like we got kills. Like people are dying from the
Did you
immortal.
get 3? Was it 3 kills?
I think we got 2 kills, and then Akka respawned and TP'd in, and then we got another kill.
2v5. They got 3 kills. It's insane. I remember I was like, good. I was like, good.
And then Michael's like, "All right, go core."
What is happening? Like,
Yeah, he was like, one time he was just like, "I don't know what's going on. Keep going, keep going."
I loved that game. That was a really good game. That was game number 2. You guys versus
on
each other.
Battlefield of Eternity.
everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone took us to Battlefield of Eternity. So on our team card says best map, Battlefield of Eternity. Everyone took us to Battlefield of Eternity, and it was our most played map. We hated Battlefield of Eternity. I hated playing it. Like whenever we were like in an online tournament, like a weekend tournament or whatever, they're like, "Oh, what map should we take them to?" I was like, "I don't care. As long as it's on Battlefield, we're good."
Yeah, I remember being really confused about those graphics when we got to the Heroic 4 about the maps, because there were some that we had gotten different information that was like favorite versus, and then the one that was on those graphics. And so I remember being like, oh, this must be where they have like won the most.
Mhm.
Which there you go. People just kept trying to throw you guys off, I guess. with the
Well,
heroes.
my other favorite part was probably the last play of the game, the last play of the whole tournament.
Okay, let's start. Is this
tilted
was it a bait? Was it a bait?
No.
Okay. Okay.
So Michael's like, "Don't go out of the base, don't clear the wave," and I was like, "I got this. I'm just gonna clear this wave, no big deal." And then all of a sudden, here comes a whole team from the top. I was like, "Oh God, I am so dead!" And like, I jump over the wall, I get hit by the thunder. I was like, "I think I'm okay. I'm gonna throw this VP down just in case." And then Claudia starts channeling his hunt right away. I was like, "I'm gonna take him to the keep." I'm running, I'm like screaming, I'm like, "Akka, save me, Akka, please!" And Akka de-shields me, stuns out Claudia.
right there.
Yeah, Akka saved us, and then Fam with the great rain of vengeance to lock down Illidan.
The rain.
Oh, and I don't know, that was such a fun moment, especially since Michael told me not to clear the wave, and it worked out. That was my favorite part.
That's
Michael's just like,
I literally see him just walking up, and I'm like, oh God, he's gonna cleave. Like literally for like the last like 15 seconds, I'm telling the team just back up, let the waves push into you, because like Fam and like Snickers, they all like one at a time like walked up. I was like, guys, just stand in our base, like they're right there.
And then like 5 seconds later, I just like walk out. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?"
I was that part there.
Bro, I was there too. I got to blink. I'm fine.
Oh man.
And your team did
How many times have I thrown as Zeratul?
A lot. Pretty much.
The only way we lose is me just getting picked off as Zeratul at the end of the game. It worked out. It's either I throw or I carry, Michael.
It was a bait.
Right.
What about you, Michael? Favorite
So
moments of the
pissed right
tournament?
now.
I mean, for me, I would probably say the moment we beat UConn. Like, I was so scared of us underestimating UConn, just because, like, yeah, we had the whole confidence act, but like, we normally don't underestimate teams. And I felt like the team mentality, I felt like we were underestimating UConn, and that was the team that I was like, if we beat UConn, we're gonna win the whole thing, right? I was like so scared going into the tournament that we were gonna underestimate UConn, because that happened to us in 2015, right? Like, we show up, lose our first game to Boston College, and I was like, I do not want to repeat of that. And then also the Blackhearts Bay core call. That made me feel so good. It just made me like feel like, as a shot caller, I was like, I made a really good call, and like it was the right one. I don't know. So I think it's just like my hard work of like practicing as a shot caller, like paying off. That's such a big thing for me.
One last favorite moment was actually outside of game, where Michael and I did like the handshake and the hug thing. We pulled away and we're like, "That hurt."
I was like, my hand.
Proving
that?
we
I don't
are, in
remember
fact,
that.
pro video game player.
We had so much like adrenaline that we're just like, "Yes!" And then we're like, "Ow!"
Yeah, we're like drafting. We're like, my hand.
When was that? I didn't see that.
After the
After
first
game one, dude, we were hyped after game one. Holy, because I told the team, I said, if we win game one, we're 3-0ing them.
Did you see Akka? His face cam.
Okay, Akko was wild. I love it. He was so hyped.
Well, let's talk about the winning moment, because that's a surreal moment that like not a lot of people get to experience. So it's kind of cliche to ask, how did it feel? But I mean, how did it feel?
After you.
Excellent.
Everyone saw me embarrassingly cry on stage, so
People have said that is the best part of the whole tournament.
I've seen lots of people say it was one of the best esports tournament moments they'd ever seen, actually.
I mean,
That's
I
great.
was completely going onto the stage like, I'm not gonna cry. I never cry, by the way. Like, I go to funerals, don't cry. I get broken up with, don't cry. I'm just like, all right, whatever. But like, I was completely fine until I looked into the audience and I see my mom completely in tears. She's just so happy. She's hugging Mrs. Udall, and like, I saw her and I just broke down. I couldn't deal with it, and especially after, like, I wanted to hug her so badly and the production team wouldn't let me. Like, it was really embarrassing, like me going out there and then them turning me around. So that was really embarrassing for me. So like, it was a mixture of all the adrenaline, all the excitement, the relief, the happiness that I put into my mother, and like the embarrassment as well. But also, like, it was the first time I really proved myself in esports. Like, yeah, I've been on Cognitive, yeah, I was on Resurgence, like, we were pretty decent teams, but like, I never won anything. I never like really proved my spot, and so winning was really the moment where I accepted myself as a professional gamer. And I was like, I can now honestly think that I deserve here. I deserve this place that I'm at. I can believe in myself again. Like, I can't tell you guys how many times I wanted to quit pro gaming, and here's the Storm in general. I was like, I'll just go live a boring normal life that I'll hate. And then that moment was just everything to me.
Mm-hmm. It was a really cool moment because a lot of people will ask any of us who are involved in esports, you know, why does it matter? What is the point of doing it? And for me, what I always tell people is the potential of esports to change people's lives and the potential of people to come together through esports to do amazing things. And so I was backstage and I have my little monitor back there and I was watching you win and I was already starting to cry because I'm just like, this changes their whole lives. It's so amazing. And I get up there and I'm like, okay, serious sports reporter. And then the shot starts crying and I'm like, come to me.
I got so many like Twitter messages and stuff like, you got to hug Anna Prosser. Like, Anna Prosser got to hug me. Okay?
Yeah, hello, champion hero of the dorm. But what about you, Michael?
I mean, mine was just more of like stress relief. Like, this is something, like I said, like from last year, like I've been training for this, and like I feel like I just put like a lot of like stress and like like, I don't know, I was talking to Van about this. All right, so like Vanity, I think was so big for me, like more than anyone else on the team, just because he was someone that like I guess I could like confide in, that like listened, and like I could like kind of take like my captain face off, right? Because like I don't know, did I ever really like, there was one scrim set where I like kind of like took off my captain face and like,
oh, you were a total goofball, and I got so frustrated.
Yeah, and like I apologize
because like I love to win and I hate to lose. So like Michael was like goofing off. He's like, oh, I'm gonna play medic this game, and then like he's playing Hearthstone while we're playing the game.
Yeah.
And, like, oh, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just a scrim, and I'm just like, Michael, if we lose this game, I'm gonna hate you.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's
it's literally just a scrim game, and I'm like, if we lose, I swear to God.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like that was like the only game that I ever really like kind of let it off, and I like told myself I wasn't ever gonna do that again, right? Because like I was very serious about it. So I guess just for me, it was just like it's still surreal for me. Like I don't think I'll ever really hit me until like I get my like, oh, I don't have to pay for college anymore. It's like when I'm like doing classes next year at ASU and like I don't have to like send in that like $10,000 check. Is when like I guess the realization will hit me. But like it was just this thing that I worked so hard for, and that like I put so much stress on myself for. Like finally like having it over, like it was just such a relief. Like I am still so tired.
I've been sleeping for like 4 days straight.
Really?
I wish, dude. I have finals and like
sick, I know.
interviews with
Oh,
people.
you had to go right back to finals?
Yes, I'm dying, guys.
Ugh.
Qualifier. Oh,
Dude.
2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks, I'll be good. I'll sleep then. But so that's just like that's what it was for me. I just like felt like this huge burden. And I just remember Akaface, like I stood up and like I remember Akaface saying like, dude, we've been through so much, like pulled me in and like hugged, and then like the whole team just like attacked us, and then we started jumping, and I was like, why are we jumping?
Well, we had the whole dab thing lined up again because we did it after day one.
That was dope.
Yeah, it was cool, and like they're all asking us like, are they gonna do it again? Are you guys gonna do it again? We're like, yeah, we'll probably do it again. And like after we won, like we completely forgot about it. We're all just hugging and jumping up and down, like we didn't even care. Did we even do it after we hugged? I think we might have.
You know what's
I
in
remember
all?
I ran and dabbed. Continue. I'm sorry.
Your family all dabbed. We know that.
Yeah, I saw your mom, the Udall mama and dad going like, dude, just out in the audience, like over and over.
I don't know why that's a thing. They
Well,
just ran with it, man.
I wanted to ask
that's
about your
so
families actually, because you two had the most standout familial support in the entire tournament, actually, because Mama Shot was on Twitter and interacting with like everybody, which was
Mama Shot's
amazing.
Twitter's
Shout
game
out
is
to Mama
on,
Shot's
like,
Twitter. Follow her
crazy.
at
Good.
Mama_Shot_Hots.
It's a great Twitter account. And then the
I'll put it
whole
in chat.
Udall clan was there. Like, we were calling them oodles of noodles because there were just so many of them and they were loud all by themselves. So tell me about how it was having your families there and what their reaction to all of this was.
After you shot.
I mean, my mom cried. My mom was super supportive. Basically, for the rest of my family, like, my sister was apparently doing a run through for her opera that she's putting on this weekend.
Wow.
And she was like on stage, like she had her whole cast into it. Like she had like her computer set up backstage and everyone was watching it. And like she had to go on stage like to do her scene or whatever. And we won, and then like the entire cast apparently ran out on the stage and hugged Sarah. And she's like, what is going on? And they're like, he won. She's like, oh my gosh. And so like they stopped rehearsal, which was really cool. My brother was watching with my friend and my dad at home. They were watching on ESPN, and they were super supportive. They texted me right after. I didn't get it till like 5 a.m. because I didn't get to my phone until like 5 a.m. My grandma actually watched too, and she put a public apology on Facebook for me because she just learned how to use Facebook, so it's like the most public way she can do it. She sends a status at me. I don't know what Facebook does. Like she sends me a thing on Facebook that everyone can see, and she says, "This is my public apology to you. You saying you were wasting all your time playing video games and all those times that I yelled at you for staying upstairs instead of coming down for family dinners because you had practice. It wasn't a waste of time. I'm so sorry. I'm so proud of you. You made it."
Oh, I love that.
Your family is so awesome, dude.
I know.
I love my family.
Oh.
Same.
Like they same.
Same.
Oh, you answer now.
You had something else to say. I was just gonna let you finish.
Oh, okay. I mean, my family's been supportive. Like, my mom mostly. Like, I know there's been a lot of pressure on her because, like from outside, people from outside the state, and like my family are like, you need to stop supporting this toxic lifestyle of his. Like, he needs to move on and have a real life. And my mom's just like, whatever, I believe in my son, he can do it. So I like huge shout outs to my mom because she put so much effort and like she took on so much hate from parts of my family to support me through it.
Wow.
Yeah, Mama Shot is
Yeah.
amazing. She
That's
gives you
so
crap
cool.
on Twitter too.
She trolls me the whole time. Every time I put something, she like tries to troll me.
She took to trolling very naturally. Like, I saw the
blocker.
beginning. Yeah.
She was taking care of me on Twitter, just telling me I needed to make sure to take some time for myself. Mama Shot. I was like, Shot, you better watch out. I'm gonna adopt her.
I was like, take her. She'll stop trolling me.
All right, what about the Udall clan, Michael?
Yeah.
They're a bunch of rascals. That's all you need to know. I don't know. They're awesome. My family has been amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way. They surprised me with those shirts. I was so like, oh gosh.
I want one of those. On Twitter, someone
Same.
said they would make me one.
My family said they're gonna make shirts, but I don't know. I'm waiting for them to follow through. Because I also would like a Michael Udall fan club shirt, so I can wear it and so I don't know. They're just amazing. I thought it was really cool. So for me, like my family's been really supportive, so that's been awesome. So like my mom, my dad, my brother, and his wife, and then my younger sister. And the biggest, no offense to the immediate family, but the biggest for me was like when my cousins showed up. So I had 3 cousins there, and like there were kind of two sides, right? So there's like the boys that I grew up with, like playing video games. Like every time I visited Utah, we'd go to my Aunt Christie's, we'd just go to her basement and we'd game. And we'd watch Tasteless or Narcosis. So like it was really cool for my cousin because I actually got to meet him, and like he speaks Korean. So it was like he was like living a dream, right? He was like, I got to meet these guys. Like it was really hot. Like for me, like standing there, like in that little circle, like giving him that experience was like really cool. And there was my other cousin Ruth, who like we're really, really close, and I actually like I got to spend time with her and her family, and like they're going through a rough time, and it was just like so great for me to like help her get away from like that like rough like home life, and to like be able to like see her happy. Like when she walked up on stage, like gave me a hug, like that was the time when I almost like got emotional, all of us cried, and like that, I don't know, that was a lot for me.
I heard that your mom was saying that this experience kind of brought your whole family together. Did you experience that?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a family group message. It's like, I'm not talking like 10 people. This is like, both of my families are like the grandparents, and they each had like, one had 6 kids, one had 7 kids. So there's like, we're talking like 100 people in a group message, right? I took like thousands of messages. I was like, oh my God, like what is this? So I mean, it's really cool, like having just like everyone combined, like, oh, this is so awesome. It's like all that like love and like support is just like amazing for me.
That's awesome. Well, the other big kind of surreal thing besides winning and being surrounded by your family was, of course, you got tons of coverage on ESPN and surrounding websites. I mean, first of all, just to give you guys an idea of where all of this is, you can watch these VODs on Watch ESPN. You can find them in a playlist on YouTube. You can also watch the VODs on Twitch. And there's highlights everywhere. And this that I'm looking at right now is the ESPN, ESPN.go.com, and this is the esports section. And this is a little bit low now because we've been going 2 days, but there are so many clips and videos and interviews. There's Mama Udall right there. And what was that like, having your face all over those things? Did your friends say anything? Did they even notice?
I mean, I thought it was so cool. Like for me, like the Twitter was like the big thing. Like I had like the ESPN, like the 29 million like followers ESPN count, tweet out me talking crap to UTA. So like when I said we're gonna dumpster them, like that's like I came back to ASU and like all the athletics department, they're all like, remember the time when you said you're gonna dumpster everyone? I was like, yeah, I do remember that. And like that's something that everyone thought was so cool. So that was like the big one. Or like the Pac-12 like tweeted out like the fact that we won, and like all of the like ASU accounts, like the ASU athletics department, the ASU like main account, like they all tweeted out that we were like national championships. And the funniest one that I thought was the House of Sparky, which is like the news agency. They tweeted out, they said ASU football like 8-9, like ASU basketball like 14-17, like ASU baseball like 10-14 or something, like all the schedules, and like ASU like esports, and it's like wins national championship, and it's like everyone riot. Like I thought it was so cool. So I don't know. The Twitter has been awesome.
That's really cool.
I was super excited after after the tournament, after all the press conferences and stuff. And after like the after parties and stuff, but like I was just excited to get back to my hotel room and look at Twitter all day. I was like, oh, there's so many things I have to look at, and I mean, I don't know, I just like to read about it and see what other people's perspectives are and how it contradicts what actually happened, which is the most fun part. But a lot of it was just I mean, it was really surreal that there's like I'm in so many articles. Like, I have like some of my family are just like sending me emails of every article they find of me, and every time they find a new article, they send me another email, and I'm like, please, this is my school email. So, like, stop sending me articles.
There was a really good question in the chat I want to ask, and it kind of goes back. It was from iFalls. It kind of goes back to last year. I was talking about how the three of you, Fam, Akaface, and Michael, faced UT Arlington. And this is like one of my favorite stories from our scene is that I think it was Akaface messaged them and said like, hey, you guys did a really good job. You should really keep playing. And that was kind of a stimulator for them to continue to play Huge and Quadius. And I love that, you know, even though it was a competition, like the community aspects still grew. Do you guys, so this question is from iFalls, and he said, do any of you guys feel kind of a responsibility or a desire to reach out to other people that competed this year and try to encourage or foster additional talent within the competitive or streaming areas of Heroes?
After you.
I mean, I encourage everyone that competed to continue competing. Like, if you're passionate about it and you're a competitive person and you even like Heroes of the Storm a little bit, you should be going at it and trying to compete, because competitive is so much more fun than casual for me, just because like you get that sense of I achieved something. There are a lot of great players in Heroes of the Dorm this year, and like all of the top 4 teams, every single player there should probably continue trying to press forward. There's a lot of top 64 players that I played against, and I would get like outplayed because I tried to 1v1 them, and I was like, oh dang, this person is intense. But then I'd play normal and we'd win. But there's just a lot of good talent. As far as like my responsibility, or my feeling of responsibility for fostering that talent, I fostered Akaface in our first competitive team. That's enough work for me. Aka is too much work. He was on Shot in the Bullets, the original.
Dude, that's
Snaps.
still one of my favorite names of teams. I was gonna mention that because we saw both of you guys back in the Heroes Hype Amateur Series days, and you know, you've come all the way from back then to where you are now. And I think that transition is so mystifying for a lot of people. They look at that and they're like, I could never break into the esports scene, or how do I break in? So, you know, your encouragement means a lot. And is there anything else that you think you would tell people to encourage them or to give them advice?
I mean, a lot of people think negatively about like the amateur tournaments and stuff, and like, oh, if you just play in Heroes Hype, you're not going to go anywhere. Like the Heroes Hype tournament that you guys put on, or Misscliks puts on, which is fantastic. It allows people to get competitive experience, and they're like, oh, it's just an amateur tournament, you're not going to go anywhere with it. I started on Heroes Hype. That was where I started from. Mm-hmm. I got together a team, played quick match with 4 goofballs, and then we're like, hey, let's play in Heroes Hype and see how well we do. We didn't even win like the first 3 times we played. In fact, I think we got dumpstered in the finals like a couple times. And like moving from amateur tournaments to the professional scene, it takes a long time, but if with enough drive and enough effort and enough passion, you're gonna get there no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I have talked to like some of the Tennessee players are the ones like we were pretty. That's kind of how it goes at tournaments. Like you have like one team from each side of the bracket like become friends. And so the team that's expected to win, and then the team that's expected to lose in the other side really becomes friends. So like us in Tennessee became friends. Like UConn and UTA became friends.
Oh yes.
Because like you like compare strategies, because like the team that's projected to win is like, oh, I'd rather play the team that's not projected to win type thing. Mm-hmm. So like we became really close with Tennessee, and I know I was talking to Gutsluck. I really like his personality. I like all of Tennessee, but he's just like a person that really stood out. He's so nice. I remember Saturday night we were talking draft, and it was so funny because like it was like 2 a.m. and everyone was like leaving, and everyone's like, all right, bye, and the Gutsluck's like, he said something really.
Oh, he said, all right, boys, it's time to venture on.
I was like, what? I loved it. I was like, I called him out. I was like, what does that even mean? I was like, I love that. You mean like unique words, and like I just wanted to talk to you about. Because I think he has a really good Zera tool. And that's something I just like told them. I thought it was like so awesome, and that like he should look into playing more, and that like I definitely think he could be on a team.
He was another one of my most improved players.
Yeah,
I was really impressed by his improvement.
He had really good star power too. Like
He does. He's like the MichaelUdall of this year.
that's exactly what I was just about to say. The behind the scenes, you know, last year the kind of like, have you seen this kid, this up and comer MichaelUdall? Have you seen this kid? And this year that was what it was like with Gutslug. It was everyone was like, have you seen this kid? He's gonna go far. So, we're like way over time in terms of our schedule. So, I'm going to try to kind of, no, totally not your fault, our fault. We really love talking to you guys. So I want to transition really quickly into talking a little bit about the future. And first of all, what's next for your team? What are you guys all going to do?
Speaking of Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, ASU, our team is dead until next year, I guess. All right, so for me, I mean, I've been playing in the qualifiers with Gale Force, which is, the roster is Fury, Crowan, Akaface, Rafflecopter, and myself. And I mean, we played really good. We made it to the round of 8, and then we played against Aventic and took game 1 off of them, and then had a very, very close game 2. And game 3 especially was like 30 minutes on Tomb, which I mean, second time ever playing together, no scrims, like makes me feel confident. I think the team definitely has like the drive and the talent, and I'm feeling really confident about it. I think we'll definitely qualify for Austin, and I think that'll be really cool.
What about you, Shot? What's next?
For me, I'm trying to look for a team still for qualifiers. I'm not even sure at this point if I'm going to be playing in the qualifiers this weekend, but if I do get a roster together, like if whether I make it or somebody invites me or like a good team invites me, like I am going to join a roster that I think is going to win, and I'm going to put together a roster that I think is going to win because I mean, I hate losing. So, I mean, honestly, I hope that things come together, but if not, it's not that big of a deal because there's always more qualifiers. Like down the road, there's more regionals. And, I mean, Gale Force is the easiest team to beat anyway because Michael's on it. So.
Oh.
He's allowed to talk all the smack he wants. Dumpstered, I mean.
Dumpster. Something dumpster, something.
Yeah,
Dumpstered,
something.
But, yeah, so I mean, I'm looking to get back into competitive. It's just I just don't know when it is gonna be right offhand.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's been super all over the place as of late. Like I've been trying to like just be able to sleep off all the adrenaline that's going on in my body, and like I came back to a bunch of school presentations, so. I mean, I know I have a couple people that want to put together a team with me. It's just a matter of how good it's going to be.
Would you guys compete with the same team next year? And if so, how would that work since you already have your college paid for?
I don't know how it's going to work. Snickers is graduating, first of all, so Snickers
okay.
won't be there.
I also think Aka's graduating.
Maybe.
When I was talking to him earlier, he might have enough credits. I'm not 100% sure.
But honestly, I don't know how it would work next year, especially like if Mike and I played next year together. Like, say we won, like, what do we get? We already got our tuition.
Yeah. Interesting, because...
And I don't want it to be the case where, like, we win and just to take it away from somebody.
Right.
Like, if that was the case, I'd drop out. Like,
I was gonna ask.
I wouldn't drop out of school. I'd drop out of the
I
tournament.
would coach the ASU Heroes of the Dorm team.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome of you guys.
Yeah, I wonder, because Blizzard never, stepped in and said if you've won before, you can't win again.
Yeah.
So I wonder what they would do. We'll have to see as we go
They'll
forward.
probably announce something. That'd be my guess. I mean,
Yeah.
Because like the Berkeley team, they all graduated after. They were all
Right.
seniors. And like us, it's like they know that we're not. I mean, I've asked them about them. They haven't told me anything, but my guess is that they will announce something when they announce Here's the Dorm for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
My dog is freaking out. Buddy. Okay.
I mean, someone just put in chat, like, that's a really cool idea. Like, maybe we could give, like, if we won again, like, it would go to charity
Mm.
or something of our choice.
Or like the second place teams.
Or the second place team, but
That's
I mean
tuition.
that kind of ruins the whole competition of it, really.
That's true.
Maybe you can give your scholarship to a proxy. Like maybe you can choose someone who gets your scholarship money.
Yeah, I
From
don't.
my college, like ASU.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Anyway,
I mean,
I guess
that'd be kind of shady because it's like, all right, I'll give you the scholarship if you give me $5,000.
Yeah.
Right? Half the price. Like,
Wait a minute.
That's true.
how do you like monitor?
Michael,
that?
you're ruining my business. Hello.
this is why I don't get to
Your
make
business,
those
our
decisions.
business.
Oh, sick.
Okay, and then just two last questions. First off, is there anyone, we already mentioned Gut Slug, any teams or specific players that you have your eye on that you think are going to be really important to watch going into either the pro scene next year or Heroes of the Dorm next year? Is Gut Slug the only one?
I mean, I'm excited to see who comes out. Like, I think there'll be some unexpected people. I mean,
Yeah. But there's always people that just stand out in other people's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not like us, like some people are like, because we're like during the Final Four, we weren't really focusing on other players' individual
Right.
skill. We're just like, we just want to win. Like, screw the other teams. Like, but I mean, I haven't gone back and really looked through the tournament and watched all the games and seen people like impress me very much, just because I haven't gone and watched these games. But I'm sure there are people that have really impressed some people, like that are in the pro scene and are going to get picked up in the future. And I'm excited to see who gets picked up and like where like, my friends from Heroes of the Dorm go.
Akafe said Utah.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna talk about Utah.
Yeah. Juno.
So we played them in the Collegiate Coliseum, and they actually went out, I think, round of like 32 to John Hopkins, which is like a big surprise to us because we've been scrimming them, and they actually were really good. And they have a couple of players that really like impressed me. Like I remember Casanova, his Zeratul almost beat us in Collegiate Coliseum. Like he single-handedly almost won the game. So that's like one thing for me is it's like I think there are a lot of good players on that team, and I just think they have to like A, work at it, and B, kind of get found. And that's something that like I definitely would reference them to like amateur teams that are looking, or even like some professional teams that are looking for new players, because I feel like Utah definitely has some really good players.
What impressed me most about Utah is their drive. Like they lost to us and like they took it really well. A lot of people get upset after they lose in a tournament. Like I know I do. Like I wouldn't be able to just like walk up and say, "Hey guys, what's up? How you doing?" Hey. But like Utah took it amazingly, and we went out to dinner that night, and like they just started like hounding us with questions, like how to get better, like especially Akaface, like their support players were just like, what talent do you think is really strong, and like what's your opinion on it, and like in what situations do you think Rhaegar is strong, and which situations do you think Uther is better? And like the fact that they were so into improving and learning the game from like professional players, because they knew some of us were professional players in the past, and like just the fact that they wanted to learn, and from talking to them, they're just like, yeah, we know we're not very good right now, but we're gonna get better, and we want to make it to where you guys are. And I was like, that is so awesome. You guys are the coolest people ever.
Well, we'll keep our eye on them for sure. I guess the last question I had, this is kind of your soapbox moment, and that is, after Heroes of the Dorm, as the dust is kind of settling, is there anything that you're hoping that the Blizzard community, in terms of Blizzard as a company, or fans, or the Heroes of the Storm community, or TESPA as the organization, is there anything you're hoping that they'll take away from this? Either things that you hope they'll learn and change, or things that you're like, this was really good, keep doing that?
I mean, for me, it's just, I just want more collegiate tournaments, really. Like, there are going to be colleges that are investing into esports more and more, and in order to make collegiate esports a thing, like having one tournament a year isn't really beneficial for a college to invest in a team. Like, say ASU picked us up to play as ASU, and they're like, oh, we want you to play in all these collegiate tournaments and stuff. We're like, okay, what collegiate tournaments? There's one. So like, I really hope that more collegiate tournaments come out, like more like biannually, or like 4 times every year, something, just like so that there's like consistency and then there's something for the colleges to look into instead of just the once a year type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Like, that's what I really want. Like, I think it'd be so cool if we had like seasons, like traditional sports, just because like I think that would be really cool for a collegiate scene, and like for college teams, like you could have like a Hearthstone season in the fall or something, and then like Heroes of the Storm. And I think something like that would really incentivize universities picking up like esports teams. And I think that would be amazing. And that's something that I'm going to work for and work towards with ASU. Like that is my 100%. That and playing pro are like my big goals right now, and getting through finals. But like I'm thinking like long term, not just like 2 weeks. So it's like my big goals right now of like helping cultivate like an esports team at ASU, and like we'll see how that all goes down. And like also playing professionally, and hopefully I qualify for Austin. I don't know. I'm excited. Esports is gonna be big. 3 years, guys. I'm calling it. 3 years. Collegiate esports is gonna be huge. 5 if things go wild, but. A 3 for sure.
I like how you gave yourself the buffer.
Yeah, it's important.
Things get wild. You never know.
Well, that actually leads me into our community spotlight for today, and we kind of wanted to focus this on Heroes of the Dorm, of course. The showcase first is starting out with TESPA. TESPA.org is the website I'm showing you right now. TESPA is the organization that put on Heroes of the Dorm. And if you don't know about TESPA, it actually just started with a couple college students. And they were in Texas, and they really wanted to do collegiate esports. And I remember sitting with the Rosen twins in a little booth in Texas, and them explaining their grand plans for collegiate esports, and me being like, that would be so great, but who knows if it'll ever happen. And Heroes of the Dorm is happening. So I want to encourage both people who have dreams of making collegiate esports big, continue to act on those. And second, people who want to get involved with TESPA, you can see here that there's buttons about become a chapter and member benefits. If you have a esports team or club on your campus and you want support from TESPA, there's actually an application that you can send in that closes on June 12th. So it's coming right up. You want to make sure to apply for that. And if you don't have a club, make a club real quick and then apply to become a TESPA chapter, because they can provide a lot of really cool support for your team. And a lot of the teams that were there at Heroes of the Dorm are ones that were TESPA chapters. So really encourage you to get involved with that. Follow them. It's just a great organization of people that was acquired by Blizzard after they started just doing the things they love, which I always love that story in esports. Do you have anything to add about TESPA, Gilly, before I move on to the next thing?
Just that TESPA is literally the reason that I am in esports. So I am a huge fan of them in every single way. The first ever esports event I went to where I was like, oh, people play video games for money was a TESPA event, was Lone Star Clash, and I was like, this is amazing. I spent the next year watching StarCraft tournaments because of that, and then went to the next Lone Star Clash and was like, yeah, I'm gonna quit my job and try to become somebody in esports. So TESPA is very important to me, and you guys should definitely check them out, especially if you are looking to get more like collegiate events on your campus.
I wish that they were who they are when I was in college.
Yeah, me too, right? Also, along the lines of Heroes of the Dorm, the tournament recap show, it's an hour long. It's our first hour long post-produced show, is going to be airing tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern time on ESPNU. And then we'll run some other times, I think even on ESPN2 potentially. But it is a very good show. It was a lot of work. The people who were working on it, at Seattle, at the event, did an amazing job. Jake was one of them, just really trying to focus on making sure that we were even able to do that, because we left early in the morning on Monday and got there, and then Tuesday had to rehearse it. We had to write scripts and everything, and then come back with scripts later in the day and rehearse it, and then we filmed it the next day. So it was 2 very long days. I am completely exhausted, but I really it was a great way to end the event, and I think those of you who have been following it are going to feel the same way when you watch it, for sure. I was getting a little misty-eyed there, realizing that it was the end.
I was gonna say, huge shout out to Gillyweed. People don't understand how much work Gillyweed has put into dorms. Guys, listen to this. All right, just picture this. All right, so she's in Orlando for a month, right? Flies to Korea, for what, like a week, and then does all of the world casting. Like the day after, flies to Seattle, does that casting, and then flies back to Orlando. Like, have you even been home like in like 2 months?
I just got home.
Just
Yeah.
My mom was concerned about you. So she tweeted at you. You need to take some time and rest.
Yeah, and that's
Thanks,
why her
guys.
dog is freaking out because her dog hasn't seen her in like a month.
Yeah, you're ignoring your dog. She hasn't seen you in like 2 weeks. Hello.
Yeah. So everyone, Gilly has put in an amazing amount of work, and it definitely showed. So thank you for that. Thank you for everyone that put on Heroes of the Dorm.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
Gilly
Thank you, Mike.
superstar.
It was a lot of work. It was very draining, especially to work on both events at once, for sure. But it was really great to prove to myself I could do it, because I was pretty stressed, and it was really big for me, and like to prove to Blizzard that like they could put their trust in me to do that, and I was very proud.
On a Misscliks note, on that note, we were actually really proud to see some of the tweets coming out around the fact that actually Heroes of the Dorm was almost gender equal in terms of talent, which has not ever that I know of happened in esports ever. And actually I got one tweet that someone was like, wow, I don't usually see this kind of gender equality in sports. It's nice that esports has it figured out. And I was like,
You're like,
cool.
The rivalry between esports and real sports.
Well, and that like this is something we talk about so much in esports, that gender equality is something that we're really working toward. And so for someone to see that broadcast and think, oh, esports has got that figured out, was really good for us. Really good for us. And actually, that's another one of our community spotlights. Another woman who was very prominent during Heroes of the Dorm, but that many people couldn't figure out how to find, was Draft Girl.
Oh,
And this is Draft Girl. She's at clutter_GCD. You can find her on Twitter here. She actually also did an interview
going,
with
everyone?
Yahoo Esports, and that's available if you just Google "Catching Up with World of Warcraft Pro Arena" and
she's in
GCD
chat.
TV.
She's in chat.
Here.
There she is. Hi, Clutter.
I love how her Twitter name is Blue Draft Girl. 'Cause that's
Yep.
what they said in like the Twitch chats. Like, who's Blue Draft Girl?
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny.
And I have no idea if she wanted me to out her or not, but there she is.
100% no, she didn't want you to. But
Sorry. Yeah, and there I just put the link to this interview in chat. You can see this interview she did with Yahoo Esports. So do support Clutter, another person who puts a ton of work into Heroes of the Dorm, and we love seeing women who are prominently featured. She did a great job.
Love you, Hannah.
And then finally, of course, we want to feature our players' streams, and we have the 2 streaming members of Arizona State who just happen to be here on the show. So if you want to watch, oh look, MichaelUdall is hosting Misscliks on his channel. That's so great.
It's me, guys. I did it.
But tell people about your stream.
Am I allowed to cuss?
Sure.
I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead.
It's a shit show. That's about it. I mean, I have a good time. If you want, like, I'm always open to knowledge. It's twitch.tv/MichaelUdall. It's right here, this name, except without the space. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I am pretty informational. Like, if you guys have questions, I have like a lot of knowledge about the game, but I also do like having a good time. So we'll get 24-hour streams, panda onesies, crazy things, cook some rice. Never know what you're gonna get. My OBS is broken. I was gonna stream after this, but I have to figure out how to fix my OBS. So help, guys, if you know how to fix OBS. I don't know. I love streaming. It's a lot of fun. Hit me with a follow on that. Figure it out. Shot, what about you?
I mean, my stream is not as much of a shit show as Michael's. Michael's is a lot more fun than mine because Michael is more fun than me in general. Mine is, I like to say that mine is more like informative, more kind of like trying to win more so. Like, yeah, if I'm doing with like a goofball or something, there's gonna be funny banter and stuff. But I love answering questions in chat. I love talking to chat when I can. I only have a single monitor, so I can't talk to chat as much as I'd like to because I'm trying to win the game at the same time. But like I don't know, I love just streaming my gameplay. I love people being able to see what I like to call myself a top tier player, but people probably disagree. I like to let people watch top tier gameplay, and I mean, I try to give out information about what I'm doing at all times. So it's more of a serious stream, not so much a cooking show or like Papa Noodle takes over the stream or whatever. Maybe you'll see Mama Shot sometimes. But it's definitely a pretty good time. I just love to interact with people. So, and my Twitch is Shot Reflex. Don't
You
ask.
seem not super happy about that.
Don't ask.
Okay.
Now I really want
It
to
got
ask.
somewhat popular, and I was like, crap, I can't change it anymore.
Yeah. That is the problem.
Yes.
I know your feel.
But you're gonna have a second monitor now, right? Because you want a PC. Are you
I
gonna
mean,
get a free monitor?
If they're giving me a monitor,
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm gonna attach that bad boy and be like, look at that. And then I'll be able to talk to my chat. That's literally all I'm gonna use it for. I'm gonna full screen chat and just talk to them. But
Well, we will hope.
yeah. And I will be streaming immediately after this, if not like 5 minutes after this or something.
Hello.
Has to be right away.
Follow Shot.
Right away, okay. I'll
Right.
turn it on and then I'll go get my water instead.
If you want to learn how to feed on Zeratul, follow
If you
Shot.
wanna learn how to throw games as Zeratul,
Tilt Michael. Follow Shot, guys.
you
Follow.
watch me. I'll give you all the insights on how to upset Michael.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is actually going to be the end of our show, and we will actually host Shot on this channel. So if you don't want to go anywhere and you want to hang out with the people you're hanging out with right now in chat and watch Shot, just stay right here. We will host him. You can watch him. Otherwise, guys, where can we
Let's
find you
start
on
it right
Twitter, and what else do you have in store coming up that we should watch for? Go, Michael.
Shot looks like he's busy.
Yeah, I'm setting up my stream.
Follow me on Twitter, guys. I'm sorry, I don't have the continuity. Ooh, big word. That's the right one, right? It's
This is why we're in college, boys.
MichaelUdall, not MichaelUdall. MichaelUdall is stolen, so we're gonna, one day I'll find that person and beat them up. I mean, ask them nicely to give me their Twitter.
Yeah.
So Mike Udall on Twitter. I feel like I'm pretty funny Twitter guy. So you'll enjoy yourself. I'll enjoy myself. It'll be a pleasure. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Michael follow Gale Force Esports. That's the team I'm currently playing with. We're fun to watch. I mean, I think we're going to be really good. Look out for us going to Austin in the qualifiers. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Good things in the works. Follow my Twitter and you'll find out what they are.
For me, my Twitter is right there at @shot_hots. Shout out to my mom's Twitter again. It's at mama_shot_hots. We both just if you follow us, it's mostly just updates about what's going on in my professional life or what's going on in my personal life. Not like super personal stuff, but it'll be a little bit of updates, and then oftentimes you'll see my mom just make fun of me. So that's the entertainment value out of following me.
It's really good.
It's pretty trolly for sure. My mom has figured out Twitter and she loves it, and she's just sitting in her bed probably right now on Twitter.
All right, Gillyweed, what about you? What have you got coming up, and where can people find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. All Gillyweed SC2 like StarCraft 2. I would also like to change that, but I'm not changing them all unless I can change Twitch. As for what I am up to next, this weekend I'm casting the DreamHack qualifiers with Zoya on my channel, my Twitch channel. That will be Saturday and Sunday. Also, Gold League has started. The first one was this morning. That will all be on my channel. It is a crazy time. It is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 5 a.m. Central Time.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to do Saturday and Sunday. It will depend on whether or not I have recovered, because I'm for sure doing the NA qualifiers. I will do Gold League if I feel like I have recovered enough to do so and given myself the time off that I need. Otherwise, that goes on for 4 weekends in a row or something, but we'll be making sure to tweet about it. That's always the best thing. If you're wanting to know what I'm going to be doing, is I will tweet stuff. Also, stuff coming from me very soon that I can't talk about quite yet, but is going to be really awesome. So make sure you're following Twitter so that I can tell you about it when I can announce it.
Awesome.
That's it. What about you, Anna?
You can find me at Anna Prosser everywhere. except for YouTube, which is Anna Prosser TV. My website, annaprosser.com, can take you to all those places. Coming up for me, I have Twitch Weekly tomorrow, which is on twitch.tv/Twitch, and we are announcing all the competitors in the PJ Sultan of Stream this year, which you may have been familiar with from last year. It's a super trolly, fun competition for Twitch broadcasters, and I'm very excited about it, so I hope you'll tune in for that. And then directly following, next week, we are going to PAX East, and I'll be hosting there for Twitch with some people that you probably know. And I hope you'll tune in for that as well. Of course, on Tuesdays, I have my D&D shows, and you can check out all of the Misscliks shows down there. And before I get to talking about Misscliks, actually, I did want to mention a couple people were asking about my purple Heroes of the Storm hoodie that is awesome. And Gilly and I are both actually brand ambassadors for Jinx. This is from Jinx. And both of us have promo codes if you want to buy a sweatshirt like this or anything from jinx.com. Yeah.
She's a robot.
She's
Hello?
It's happening. The robots are taking over.
Am I good? Okay, good.
Are you good? Yes.
I'm okay. So even though the robots don't want me to tell you, if you want to get 15% off of anything from Jinx like this sweatshirt, you can use my promo code Prosser or Gilly. What's yours? Gilly? Is it
Gillyweed.
Gillyweed. Use either of our promo codes. You can get 15% off, and it supports us too. And then, of course, please follow and support Misscliks. We really appreciate it. Check out all the other Misscliks shows. We have a huge variety of shows going on right now. 2 Dungeons & Dragons shows, an indie show, a horror game show, this show about Heroes of the Storm, a tabletop games, board game show.
Board games.
Yeah,
I get salty.
with Gillyweed. And so check those out. Also follow Misscliks on Twitter for any up-and-coming stuff. And we will see you back here for Eye on the Storm very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and thank you to our guests. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.